All right, let's get started. What's up, everybody? I'm going to turn the music down just a bit. So, tonight, it's going to be fun. We're going to build C2, and we're going to play around just a little bit with PowerShell. We're going to do some simple stuff in PowerShell, nothing like just super complicated or anything like that. And I know I promised that we were going to embed it in a Word doc. I'm not going to do that because I couldn't figure out a way to legally stream with the pirated version of Word, and I just don't feel like giving them any money for Word. Frankly, I can't stand Microsoft. I can't stand what they've done to Word. It's like this big cloud offering bullshit, so I'm not going to do that. So what we might do is just kind of pretend like we're using Word instead, and just run just straight up PowerShell scripts and just kind of like pretend we're running it out of Word. So let's start with the C2. We're going to do a very simple, there we go. I'm not going to upgrade right now. We're going to do a very simple C2 for today. We're going to wolf C2, wolf C2. There we go. And let me make sure I've got the networking correct. We're going to use a bridged adapter for this because I'm too lazy to do anything else, basically. Nope, it's on NAT right now. Let's pop it over to bridge so everything can talk very nicely. All right, so we're going to hop over to wolf C2. Let's make sure that we've got Python installed. Do. All right, so what we're going to do is let's go ahead. We don't have code here. What do we have? Do we have code? No, we don't. Sudo. Let's go ahead and install code. Snap install code. So we're going to try to install code, and then we'll, what in the world? Could have sworn I had this password, right? Maybe? Okay, that's fine. So we're going to create like a very, very simple C2 with Fast API. If you don't know anything about Fast API, I've got a video on it. I'll link it in chat. Let's see. Fast API is rad. It's become my new favorite Python backend for basically anything. Let's see. So I've got one on full stack dev. I'll go ahead and share that over. That's got some Fast API stuff in it. And I've also got a blog out about it that I think is in the description. Might not be, don't know. So there's video on Fast API. So basically Fast API is a really good it's a really good replacement for Flask. Flask is great. It's what I've been using for ages. Flask is a lot slower than Fast API, frankly. And Fast API, I honestly just love the way that you code in it. So let's go ahead and open up code in this directory. I'm going to have to look up a couple of things. Fast API cores middleware. We're going to have to install Fast API. We're going to have to install requests, maybe. I don't know. We're going to have to install. That's all I know of right now. Let's start there. Pip install Fast API requests. Do I not have pip? Sudo apt install Python 3 pip. That's weird. So we're going to create an app. App.py. We're going to go ahead and from Fast API import Fast API. While all of that is downloading, what in the world is going on over here? this is obnoxious. Okay, we're gonna kill that process. I don't know what it is. 2, 6, 700, and if this doesn't work, then I'll just run it on my local machine. That should work fine. Okay, we're gonna run this shit on my local. I'm not playing around today. It says fully built and good to go, and it clearly is just not. So I haven't used that image in a bit. We'll just go ahead and pop open a new one. And I've already got everything installed here anyway, so so that I don't leak anything, I'm gonna create this folder somewhere else. Actually, I'll go ahead and just use my old wolf folder. Documents somewhere. Just don't feel like leaking my entire file system to the world. No point in that. RE stuff. Wolf 2.0. So we'll use that folder. Go ahead and make a new folder called, I'm just going to call this C2. And a new file called app.py. From fast API, import fast API. App equals fast API. We're going to have to pass it some middleware. Forgot how to do that. Do I not have it installed? I think I do. Yeah, I've already got it. That's weird. So let me do middleware, helper, functions, and routes. So we're going to have one simple route, and it's just going to be our hello world route. And we're going to return success. And let's go ahead and plop our origins up here. We're just going to allow all, not the most secure way to do it, but we're going to do it this way anyways. And we also need to import cores middleware. I think that's it. Let's see if this builds. Unicorn C2. What's up, Will? This will be in C2 app. No, it'll be, yeah, app. Nope. Let's change directories to the C2 directory. Unicorn app. Okay, so I'm importing that incorrectly, of course. Oh, it's from fast API dot middleware dot cores import. All right, now we should be good to go. Yep, okay, so we're running. So what we want to do is let's go ahead and try to run this port 80. It shouldn't matter, but basically what we're going to be trying to do today is reaching out to our C2 using PowerShell. And that's going to be like kind of our, it's not going to be our like end goal, but that's going to be kind of the thing that we want to do. So basically we just want to hit this endpoint right here from PowerShell. So let's hop on over to our victim and we'll start writing some PowerShell. Now, like I said, if you missed it, I'm not going to actually be embedding this within Office, mainly because I'm going to figure out how to not pay Microsoft any more money than I already have in order to use Word. I might try to embed it in like an open Office document. Uh-oh. How did I crash a PC? Okay, we're going to ignore that and open up our backup. How did I blue screen that? That's magical. I remember your face from years ago from OSCP days. Did you change your channel name? Yes, it was Viking Sec. Yeah, it was Viking Sec. I changed it to Valhalla Dev basically because I'm doing more dev work on this channel than I am like strictly security stuff. So I figured I would change the name to kind of reflect that. That's kind of what I was gunning for. That said, obviously I'm still doing security content. That is not necessarily changed. Let's zoom way into this so that people can actually see it. So I've actually technically got a the hello world pulled up already from testing. So let's go ahead, and we need to actually change our networking stuff. So we're going to change over to our local IP. Can't wait for all of y'all to just scream about how I'm leaking my IP here. So that's going to be our host. Let's make sure that runs. Does. So we're going to write just enough PowerShell here. 1.56 to hello world. And let's see if this works. That's definitely not it. And we're going to try it without the port first. It should work without the port since we're running on port 80. All right. Web exception. What does that mean? Internal server error. Did it hit? Should have hit. Oh, yikes. Hello W takes 0 positional arguments, but 1 was given. Huh? It shouldn't. Oh, no, it's app.get. Damn it. There we go. We're going to run this in debug. I think that's how you do it. Yeah, there we go. All right, now we should be good to go. Response cannot be parsed because the Internet Explorer engine is not available, or Internet Explorer's first launch configuration. Okay, that means that it should have hit. And it did. Cool. So now we need to get it to actually parse. However, first let's try to write it out to a file, because that's kind of like a more interesting thing to do anyways. So let's see if we can write out some PowerShell to a file. I guess I'll let you watch the Googling. So PowerShell write to file. All right, so I think PowerShell uses streams, I want to say. Let's see. So let's get process. We're writing it out here. So we're basically piping it. So let's see if we can do, let's see if we can just pipe it to that. Oh, that's not what I was looking for. I'm getting stuck in the windows now. We are doing out dash file path. We'll write out to a temp directory. File path. We'll do it to a temp directory because that's just what that's what a sketchy malware would do. So let's go to C. Let's do users, Viking, and we'll create a new folder here called .temp. Enter that folder and copy paste that. Clearly mal.mal. Let's see if that works. I don't know why I tend to wonder, but yeah. So it's still having that parsing problem. So let's see what the arguments for out dash file is. I'll open it in here just because it's getting to be a pain in the ass. So PowerShell out-file write. Let's just do write. This is super small, isn't it? File path appends, force, no clobber, no new line, width, what if? So can I just write a variable out? Let's try. Write variable to file PowerShell. At some point I'm going to actually learn PowerShell properly. Not at the moment. Oh, so you just write the name of the... So it should be just that. Yeah, at some point I'm going to learn PowerShell properly because it is super useful to know. Just not right now. Let's see if that works. Response content, so it still can't be parsed. Specify the use basic parsing parameter. So is it just use basic parsing? Is that all I needed this whole time? Probably. Yep, sure is. So let's see if that wrote out successfully. And if it did, yep, sure did. Let's open with Notepad. Here's hoping. Oh, so it had a bunch of shit. So it's got our headers in there, our raw content length. We just want the content. So how do we grab that? Can we just do response dot, yeah, content. Beautiful. Love it when a plan comes together. So we're gonna write that out. Let's see if that works. Yep, sure did. Okay, so the fun part is when we start playing with this with like malware. And we start being able to open processes and fun stuff like that. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna create a, well, I'm trying to think. I could start the server up on the victim, serve the malware that's already compiled, and do it that way. I'm trying to think of the laziest way to do this. Basically, we've already got malware written, and in order for me to compile it well, I guess, let me try something. Let's just create like a simple hello world. So we've got our simple hello world here. It doesn't use anything Windows specific. So let's get rid of that. Let's go ahead and get rid of all of the linked stuff. So printf can stay, print Twitter, we can get rid of that. And get rid of all of this, and it's like the simplest thing ever. Let's split this. Let's see if we can even just make it. Yeah, we can make it. Well, no, I'm not on the right place. That's the main problem. But we can still serve it from here. Okay, so we've got main.exe now. Let's see if we can copy that. Throw it in data. That's main.c. We don't want that. So basically we're going to take main.exe. We're going to throw it in our data directory. And we're going to serve it. So let's try that. Return. So with open data slash main.exe read bytes as file, return f.read. So let's see if we can just straight up return it like that. Ooh, yikes. What parameter is incorrect? What? Except failed on a socket. It may not like the fact that I'm trying to serve up bytes here. Nope, that worked. I don't know why it didn't work before, but it worked now. So now we're serving up an executable. We should be able to hit that same endpoint, write the executable as an executable. If I can find my mouse, clearly mal.exe. What's funny is I bet Windows Defender is turned on, and I bet it's going to do absolutely nothing about PowerShell just writing a random executable to disk. And it's like, whatever, I'll get away with it. So let's hit it. Ooh, maybe not. It was a server-side error. That's annoying. Can't decode bytes. You shouldn't have to decode any bytes. So what we might have to do is encode it. Let's see. Let's see if we can just get away with this. Didn't crash the server. Yeah, it's getting really pissy about me, I think, serving up a byte file like this. Nope, still didn't work. Ah, shit, that's lame. Bytes object has no attribute encode. Dots. Decode? I know I've done it like this before. It's like the laziest way to send an executable ever. Nope, that didn't work either. Valid start byte. So that's a legitimate executable. I can run that just fine. I know it's a legitimate executable. Let's see. So let's just noob search this. Serving an executable with fast API. No, see, that's gonna get. There aren't many people trying to serve an executable like that with like any Python framework. Like there's no legitimate reason why you would ever do that. Let's see. So we could just encode it as. We just change the encoding, right? Let's see if we. F equals open data name.exe. We're reading bytes. Exe equals f dot read. Return exe. Right, server's up. Oh wait, it may have written 1 kilobyte file. It may have written in, it just is acting weird. That would be strange. Let's see. Let's see how big this executable is. It's 1 kilobyte. No, this is 42 kilobytes, so it's not writing correctly. It's probably writing out like the error message. So let's see if this works now. Nope, still server errors. Invalid start byte. Python 3, read. So that's what I'm doing. You can just straight up ignore the errors. Just out of curiosity, I want to see if this works. Imagine writing a function and just being like, I'm going to add the option to just ignore the errors. Binary mode doesn't take an encoding argument. Okay. I wonder why the debugger is not liking this at all. Binary mode doesn't take an errors argument. Okay, so that's just straight up not going to work. So how did I read in? I did a project where I was reading in a ton of executable stuff. Python 3 reading in executable bytes. Bin function or the ord function. No, that's not what I'm talking about. So this is saying that it's just read bytes. Python 3 would be parsing. I wrote a blog about this, I think. Like P parser. I might have to open up my old code. Yeah, I'm gonna have to open up my old code. Let's see if I can do that. Oh, that's annoying. It should be malparser. Oh, this was a while ago. This is old code. There we go. So like I said, this is super old code. Let's see if I can figure out exactly how I did it before. Mongo stuff, more Mongo stuff. Don't need any of the logs. That's a file buffer right there. Yeah, it's read bytes. That should work fine. Huh. It's a legitimate executable there. Got the magic and everything. So, if you're just joining us at home, we're trying to figure out why exactly I'm not able to parse in. Let's see if there's like a read bytes dot read bytes. Nope. I don't want to write, so I don't need to open it in write mode. It should just be read. So let's see where the error is happening. Print. The error hasn't happened yet. This is a really annoying error. I didn't expect this to be the thing that holds us up tonight. So run it, server error. That's not it. It's after we restart it. Error hasn't happened yet. So it's happening on the read itself. which is odd. It's not happening on, like, opening the file. Who's got clues here? Just try opening it in regular read mode. That shouldn't work, but... yeah, still server error. And yeah, that's working less, basically. I might have to use, I don't want to use PE parser because I don't need to. Let me try this. Might just have to open all of my old code and figure out how I did it before. So I did this a ton before. Like, I was reading like loads of executables. So let's go to backend. Should be under file store. We're looking at PE files. So this is after the file buffer is being pulled in. So we need to go to, and should be file class. Now let's see where it reads it in. Nope, it reads it in init file buffer. So calls to proc file. Proc file never being called? Question mark? There it is. Name equals file, type equals fbuff content, fbuff.read, and it's literally happening right here the exact same way. I don't understand why that's not working. So I've got this open happening right here. It's opening it under read bytes mode, and it's working fine here, or at least it did work fine way back in the day. But clearly something's happening because it's not working over here. Did I close my old one? Damn it. Oh, this is obnoxious. Here, let's just open up a new window. We want to drag this over here so y'all can't see my file system. Open folder. Just go all the way back to our RE stuff. All right. So basically what we've got going on here is there's for whatever reason a case where this read bytes right here is just not wanting to read the bytes in. And I know it worked that way before, just not working that way now. Let's just try coding equals UTF-8. Shouldn't do it, but might as well give it a shot. Right, run it. This shouldn't work. I say that, and it's gonna end up working, isn't it? No, it's not. So it should just straight up work this way. And it straight up is not. I'm wondering if it's happening. Let's just try returning an empty thing like that. Let's run it. Let's see if it's like, yeah, okay, that's what it is. So it's the actual returning that's the problem. It's not the read. Oh, we're not closing our file every time. So it's the actual return that's borking, basically, which is interesting. I bet it's having issues sending an executable over HTTP. So what we can do is we can just base64 encode it, which is what I've done before. So that means we're gonna have to learn how to decode base64 in PowerShell. Decode base64. Let's see. We're just going to go ahead and yoink this, because who cares? Drag it over to another window, because I don't think I've got drag and drop enabled here. So that's going to grab the response. We're not going to write it out quite yet. We're going to do this. Oop. Oh, this drove me nuts. Okay. System dot text dot encoding. And again, I'm eventually going to actually learn PowerShell. UTF-8 dot get string. System dot convert from base64 string, and we're going to do response.content. We should just be able to store that in a variable. Close out the parentheses. Decoded. And then we're going to toss out encoded. Pipe it to there. And maybe, just maybe, this will work. Unexpected token. What? Oh, I didn't close this. All right. So now we need to encode it on this side. And I forgot the Python function for that. I believe it's in hashlib. Base64 encode string Python. Don't need to worry about the math behind it. Just import base64. There we go. All right. Import base64. We are going to return base64 dot encode exe. Now, what this should do is it should encode it on the server side. It should land on the client side, decode it on the client side with 0 loss, and plop it into an executable. What's up, Mahad? Yeah, I'm trying to do my my live streams a little bit earlier because I know people mentioned that being a problem earlier. So that's how it should work. We should end up with a malicious executable on the other side of this. Here's hoping. I say malicious, it doesn't actually do anything malicious, but that's what it's eventually going to do. So we slam play. We missed the button entirely, and it doesn't work. Let's Let's see. Oh, that was a server error. Okay. I mean, a server error we can fix. Server errors are very fixable. Code missing one required positional argument. Okay. No, it's not that early. It's still 9:45 my time, but it's progress in the right direction. My last stream was like at 10 here. Encode. What? Did I just completely call this function wrong? Shouldn't have. B64.B64 encode. Oh, okay. Dot B64 encode. Now we should be golden. I've said that a couple of times tonight, but this time for real. Okay, so this time it's a PowerShell problem, which is fine. Exception calling from base64 string with one argument. The input is not a valid base64 string as it contains a non-base64 character. Huh. So let's go ahead and write output response.content. Let's see what it looks like. I keep pressing save. Whoa. So I bet it's having problems with those quotation marks around it. And that's exactly how it's supposed to look, though. Yeah, so it's probably those quotations. It probably doesn't automatically get rid of those quotations. Oh, I thought I dead ass just got hit by Windows Defender. It's like, I know y'all aren't playing with me already. All right. So PowerShell, remove substring. Okay. Text string dash replace. Okay. We don't really need to replace it. We just need to remove it. Let's see if there's just like a simple like bracketed substring. Yeah, there is. So you can just split it. So what we're going to do is we're going to do dot split. Is it a capitalized split? Split. We're going to split on the quote. And we're going to do at 1. So that should do us. Should need one more parentheses there and we're good. So that should just take what is in between the quotation marks. It's a hacky way to do it, but it is what it is. Oh, did that just work? Just very casually press that button like I wasn't like testing this out. Looks like it might. Nope. Nope, nope, nope. Let's see if it decoded correctly. I can do that by just opening it in Notepad, I guess, the hacky way. Or maybe not. It may not let me do that. Let's change it to a .text file. So it looks like it may have only written half of it. Oh, it's not letting me actually edit the file type. So let's see if we had an error on the server side. Nope, no error on the server side. Our executable here is, I believe, bigger than what we got. Should be at least. RE stuff, Wolf 2.0, C2 data, main.exe is a 42 kilobyte executable. And here, it's an 83 kilobyte executable. So that's not right. I wonder if it's trying, yeah, it's probably writing it in append. I bet that's what happened. So let's run this. And oh, it's 83 again. Why is it doubling in size? Huh. So it's got a legitimate MZ heading. All of the strings look fine. I'm ending up with follow me on Mastodon in there. Is it sending it twice? What do you mean you can't find MZ? Asshole. It's right here. Okay, it's not able to search it well because it's a binary file. So I'm wondering if it's writing it twice. Shouldn't be. Let's see if we so we don't need this anymore. Response dot, let's see, raw content. Maybe it's raw content. Let's try that. Dot. Maybe it's doing something funky. And then here we'll do response dot. Do we have like a length? Status description equals. Guess not. Content dot. Yeah, there we go. Still doing it. Should be fine on the server side. So that should be in bytes. Let's see if the write worked first. Still ending up with 83 kilobytes and it still can run. Huh. Let's see if we can just write it. No, that wouldn't be right. Wonder if it's the split. Let's see if we can get rid of the split. Doing it again. Yeah, it's gonna have issue there. Maybe it's I think there was a content.toString or something like that. Response dot content.toString. Doubt that's gonna work. Nope. Let's see what we've got. Dot remove. That should just remove it. There won't be a split. this was working technically. It's just not correctly writing. It's writing. I wonder how it's getting, how it's growing. Like it's like doubling in size. The issues from decode var, you need to add equals. Right here. So decoded is equal to the decoded string. And then this is basically piping decoded out to the out file. So that should be fine. If you want to convert the binary to base 64, you can just use cert util. So we're trying to convert it from base 64. So right now it's in base 64. It's being sent as base 64 from the C2, and we're trying to convert it back. And for some reason, when we're converting it back from base 64, it's growing, which is odd. But we could just, let's try that actually. That's not a bad idea, Mahad. What we're gonna do is we're going to write it straight out to disk. So let's actually comment that out so we can save it. It's #, yeah. And we're going to write the response out, and then we're going to convert it with cert util. Cert util, I completely forgot how to use that for cert util base 64 decode, and we'll just do that on the command line and see if it might just be a problem with the way PowerShell handles that, or the way it's being transported. Okay, cool. That's easy. Drag that over here. I'm going to end up with like 1,000 windows by the end of this, but we're going to get it. So that's going to write it out to a base 64 encoded file. Let's just do base64 to be clear. Okay, so now we should have a base 64 encoded file right here. So let's open up command prompt. We're gonna switch to desktop /.temp. All right, so we've got our base 64 encoded binary. We're gonna do cert util. Let's make sure it works. It does. Decode B64 encoded. We're going to do clearly mal B64 to clearly mal, this should be .exe, yeah. Clearly mal exe. Let's just do dec. Data is invalid. That's fun. Huh. Something's broken. Something's deeply broken, y'all. Yeah. It's borked. Wait. This is only a 2 kilobyte file. Is it? It shouldn't be compressing it that much, right? That's like a 40-to-1 compression. But it's actually only a 20-to-1 because this is supposed to only be 40-something kilobytes. So I'm thinking we may have like a compression problem here. And that's... Mahad is whipping out all of the PowerShell knowledge here that I don't have yet. So I'm going to write that down real quick. going to write that down in my Notion library. Ah, crap. So I'm copying this down over to Notion so that I can remember it for later. From stream on 31 October 22. That's from Mahad. Dealing with encoding problems. So we've got some very weird errors going on here. Basically, we're encode. Let's try this. Let's try this. So let's pop over here, and let's read in the size of the encoded data. So let's do dec size is equal to xe.length. No, it should be len xe, and inc size equal to len base 64 dot b 64. Let's just do this, inc, and then this is going to be inc. Return inc. So let's see what our size difference is, because I might be wrong. Oh, you actually use C++ for that. Yeah, I'm going to get there eventually. Right now, I can't even run simple PowerShell. So let's run this. Let's see what our size difference is. Okay, that didn't work. Oh, I didn't print it. Idiot. Print. Encoded size. Versus decoded. Restart our debugger, or debugging backend. Let's see what our size difference is. So the decoded size is still, the encoded size is bigger. So we're not sending all of the data, I think. Or it's not getting written correctly. So we're sending 56 kilobytes. Roughly. Yeah, 56 kilobytes. What we're getting on this end, so the encoded version is 2 kilobytes. That's obviously not right. So let's change this to .txt. Something funky's happening there. Oh, well that's because I'm not, that's stupid. Response.content. Okay, so that was a stupid error on my part. That was not PowerShell's fault. Now let's try. We go back to temp, look at the text file, that's 1 kilobyte? Well, that's definitely not right. Okay, so that's just straight up not writing well, because I am fat fingering everything. Golly, dude. All right, that's 111 kilobytes. So that's clearly wrong. So let's try the raw. Basically, we're just gonna brute force this. Raw content. Let's try raw. Because basically we're waiting on one of these to be the right size. I don't want Windows Store. That's also 111. So there's no difference between the two. Let's see what it looks like. Okay, so that makes sense. That's definitely base 64 encoded blob. Raw content. Let's do dot split. on quotes, because there shouldn't be any other quotes in here. We can actually search through there. Okay, so that's not right. Raw content is not right. Yeah, so let's get rid of that. So that contains all of the metadata as well. So let's just do content, that split. I keep pressing save. Add that. Let's go back and see what normally looks like. There should only be 2 cases of there being quotation marks. 1. Looking like we're right. Okay. Oh my gosh, dude. I get it. Should only be 2 cases. There are 2 cases. All right, so that should work fine. That should be giving us basically everything but the quotes. That's 1. Okay. And we're writing that out. So this should just write out everything without the quotes. Sure, you're encoding all the bytes in Python. See, that's what I'm wondering. It might be that. But the weird thing is, if I weren't encoding all of the bytes in Python, I don't know. Like, I would think that I'd be getting a smaller file, right? That's still 111 kilobytes. Yeah, we're basically just getting the same thing. Now the decoded version of that should be that. I know base 64, I don't know. Let's do this. We're just going to do, oh my gosh, I can't see my mouse. Decoded. Decode that out to the deck.exe, and that should work. Should end up with 2 files. Clearly no. So it's still 83 kilobytes. We're dealing, it's growing somehow on the wire. we're like, yeah, because it's not going to run. Somehow we're managing to grow this executable magically. Verify the PE header in sections using tools like PE Bear. So here's the thing that's happening that's very strange. The encoded size is 56,612. The decoded size is 42,457. We are ending up somehow with an executable that is double the size, literally exactly double the size. Because we're ending up with an executable that's 83 kilobytes in size. Yeah, so it's literally double the size. And I'm wondering how we're doing that. Because, I mean, the base 64 encoding shouldn't be doubling the size of it. If anything, there should be like losses maybe. But somehow we're managing to double the size of our executable. Like, let's try this. Let's go back to our C2 code. What we're going to do is we're going to write it to the file. F equals open data slash, let's just do encoded dot exe. We're going to write to it, and f dot write. So it's going to write the encoded version, and then f dot close. And then we'll just do that on this side. And we'll use cert_util to decode it on this side. Okay, evidently that's a problem. Oh, I didn't write bytes. Right, bytes. Right, should be good to go there. Yep, no issues. We wrote to the file, encoded.exe. Okay, that looks right. Let's see if we're getting any. That's just one of one. So we're not getting any duplication there. Should be. So let's use, and let's compare the sizes too. So we're gonna go into Commander. Let's do, no, I was in the right one. Wolf 2.0. C2. And it is data. All right, so we've got encoded and main. Cert_util. That's not what I meant to do. So cert_util decode encoded.exe to output.exe. Okay. So that works. If we throw this over here, we've got main.exe. Well, I'll have to run it from Commander. So we've got the original main.exe. Follow me on Mastodon. We've got the encoded. It's not going to run, but encoded.exe. Yeah, that didn't work. And then output.exe. Follow me on Mastodon. Okay, so that works. Cert_util is able to do it here. So there is something in the actual transferring of the file, like over the wire, like not over the wire since it's all local, but like maybe it's the way that PowerShell is handling it. It shouldn't be. I could diff the two as diff. Yeah, so diff is a, I could use diff. See how I could do it. Then the PowerShell is not retrieving the bytes correctly from the Python gateway. That's what I'm thinking. I'm just wondering how it's not doing that correctly. Is there... Let's see. Let's zoom in a little bit because this text is way too small. PowerShell retrieve bytes. PowerShell response content duplicated? I don't know, like I don't even know what the error is. That's the weirdest part. So let's go over here. Did I save an encoded version? So yeah, see here's the encoded version. Let's see if there's any duplication in here. Shouldn't be any duplication. Doesn't appear that there is. I think if there's a new line in the response, PowerShell will just terminate and null the bytes and then store it. Print the encoded bytes in the console. So that's the thing, like that might like be a thing that it does, but I would think that that would make it shorter, not longer. Like this is twice as long. So there's something, maybe it's in the decoding. Why would it be the decoding? So it should be encoding it in UTF-8. That's the only way I could think that it would grow in size. Like otherwise, it doesn't make any sense at all. It doesn't make any sense for the PowerShell to be like duplicating the size of it. That makes no sense. And it's not removing the quote. So basically, it's either in the way that it's receiving it. Let's do this. So let's look at the decoded length. Right, output decoded dot length. I keep trying to save it. So the decoded length is 42 bytes. And that's right around what we're looking for, right? Yeah. So it's in the right. The right is somehow duplicating the size. So I bet there's, let's do it in this window. PowerShell write bytes to file. Decoded. Set content. Let's see if this works. Set content. File. I guess it doesn't have a path, does it? Yeah, it does. See users. I can desktop temp clearly mal set content.exe, and we're gonna do, what was the other? Okay, I'll try that after this attempt. We're just gonna keep brute forcing it until it works, man. Value and encoding byte. Let's give this a shot. So it'll be set content.exe. That didn't work. When using byte, the encoding content must be of type byte. Why is it not? Oh, that might be the problem. Yeah, this is getting a string. I'll tell you, that's probably it right there. Dot get bytes. I'm betting you that's it, y'all. Let's try it the old way. It's because it's the simplest one. I'm betting it was, yeah, that might make sense. So we're gonna do decoded out file path. We're just gonna yoink this. Come on now. Users, I can desktop, temp. We're gonna do clearly mal.exe. Let's just go ahead and clear out this folder anyways. Right, we don't need to write the encoded version out, hopefully. So that should work. It took a second. It took a second. I don't know why it took that long. 951 kilobytes. That's not correct. Okay. Let's go back to trying it the way that we were. Let's give that a shot. Okay, that ran way faster. Let's clear it out and try again, because I didn't know which one of the files was right. It's still too large. All right. We got this. Oh, is it Unicode? Let's try it with getString first. Try to figure out why this isn't letting me copy paste. Let's go ahead and save this. Out file path to file path dot place inc with this shouldn't be it, but it might be. Just doesn't seem like it would be that simple. Every once in a while I'm right. Why is that not working? Okay, I'll just keep throwing parentheses on there until it works. That looks closer. No, that ain't right. Oh wait, that is right. Just change this to an exe. Close this out. Why did I keep closing my folder? I bet you probably had it right, Mahad. I was trying to decode with UTF-8. I just closed my folder again. Damn it. I was trying to use UTF-8 instead of Unicode, which was a really dumb mistake that cost me like an hour. Gotta love it. Now we should have a running. Fucking damn it. We're close though. So that's a 42 kilobyte file. And it should be 42 kilobytes. So we're getting wrong here. Did I bet I accidentally left those quotes in. Yeah, that's not what we're looking for. It complained that I didn't have the Internet Explorer engine. So if you don't have basic parsing enabled, or if you don't have that flag on there, then it's going to try to use the Internet Explorer engine, and I don't have that installed. So. Oh wait. This is stupid. .split 1. That could be causing some problems. Yeah, I bet that's probably what was the issue. Lots of very strange little bugs that I'm running into here. that I'm mostly causing myself. $42 kilobytes should run. Fucking damn it. So let's see what we're running into here. So that's still not a valid. Yeah, that's not a valid executable there. And when I was decoding with UTF-8, I was at least getting the right file header. So let's switch it back to UTF-8. And see if we can get the right file header back at least. Yeah, so we've got the file header back correctly there. So let's just to make sure. Post the Discord server, please. I haven't been in the Discord in a while. Huh. I guess I should be monitoring that. Let's see. Oh, in my VM. Let's see. I guess I should be like updating. I should be updating this Discord every once in a while. Let's see, invite people. Copy the link, and I'll plop it in. Yeah, I'm not in there as much as I should be, but here's a Discord. Feel free to join up. Now, let's go back to seeing if this is just for shits and giggles to see if I accidentally fix something, because I wouldn't be just completely shocked. I don't quit closing this damn folder. Okay. Run it. Folder opens. 83 fucking... Wait. So it's even showing right here that the decoded length... Yeah, so it's straight up the output here. Because it's showing... The outputted length right here should be 42 kilobytes. It should be perfect. So what did you suggest, Mahad? I'm going to copy and paste yours literally. So. Well, it would help if I could do that. io.file. This really is a miserable language. Right, all bytes. File path. Then we'll do our conversion. Well, we can actually just write out decoded, and that should work. So let's try it that way. Go back to our folder, don't close it, close these, run it. Oh, whoa, shit. All right, well, that caused issues. It's getting string, and it's not really liking having to write that. And now I can't see the error because it's printing the entire executable out in the error message, which is super useful, really great. Wait, this is getting a string and it's trying to write bytes. Let's try that first. get bytes. Yeah, that worked. Ooh. Yeah, that didn't work. Shit, man. Yeah, because that's 120 kilobytes long. So that's not it. It's our string. It's just not. Just do write. Or just a write string. Write all text. Let's try that. Just. And file path and decoded. Let's give it a shot. Okay. 53. That is the most random number. Why is it 53? Let's see if it's even writing anything normal. Yeah, so it's... This is such a strange error to have. So that looks like it's got more line breaks than it should. Just a general vibe here. So that's not it. So what if we wrote out the encoded version? We are writing out the encoded version, you idiot. So what? Write all bytes? Yeah, so I tried that and it was like 4 times too big. 3 or 4 times. Alright, it's getting on to 10:30 here. This might have to be something I solve off stream. So the encoded one... Just hammering the C2 right now. What about if you read the file from the disk without downloading it first? What do you mean by that? So wait, the encoded one is also the wrong size. It's about twice too big. What about if you read the file from the disk without downloading it first, then decode it in PowerShell? So copy the encoded file from Python, then decode it from PowerShell. Worth a shot, maybe. If it works, try to download the file in the disk, then well, the problem is the encoded version is also the wrong size. Like the encoded version in reality should be, let's see, 56 kilobytes, and in reality it's 112, roughly 111. So it's just literally doubling the size of it. So So if the encoded version is the wrong size on disk, and the decoded version is the wrong size on disk, and it's the wrong size, it's a right size in memory, it's the actual write to the disk that's the problem. The write to the disk is doubling the size of it, or doing whatever encoding shit it's doing. All right, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna end the stream here. We are going to approach this outside of the stream. I'm gonna solve the problem. I'm gonna hop back into the Discord. I'm gonna hop back on the stream. Next stream is, let me get this right. I'm gonna get this right. Next stream is on the 2nd, which is Wednesday. So the 2nd on Wednesday, I believe at like 8:30, something like that. Yeah, 8:30. So we're gonna solve this on the next stream, 8:30. We're gonna get this figured out. I don't know how we're gonna get it figured out, but I'm gonna get it figured out tomorrow and post the results in the Discord. Go ahead and repost that link. Oop, that's not right. That's PowerShell. Go ahead and repost that link. If you want to show up, say, hey, I should be more active in there, honestly. But yeah, there's a Discord link. If you want to show up, show out, and get the results tomorrow, we'll get it all figured out. But right now I'm like brain dead and I need to go to bed. I walked like 3 miles doing trick-or-treating, so I am out. Y'all take it easy. Mahad, appreciate all the help. You've been great. Peace.